Just because I love you, it don't mean I trust you. Everybody not to be trusted. Everybody around me thugging. Everybody around me drugging. Everybody around me hustling. Everybody know not to bring no new rigging around me. They say I be bugging. Got racks in the go-yard luggage. Just cause I love you, it don't mean I trust you. Everybody not to be trusted.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Quentin Flores, and this is Uncut with Q. Dude, I've literally been sick for like the last 2 weeks, and this is like my first day getting back. If y'all hear me start coughing up or whatever, I'm sorry, but I'm barely getting my voice back in full. Anyways, guys, if this is your first time listening, you know that we have what we call the fee. And the fee is very simple. It means that if you get value from the show, if you like the show, if you if it changed your perspective of life because you listen to the show, I ask a favor of you. And I believe that the world operates better on an exchange of value. That means that if you get value from this, you share the fucking shit out of this show. Now, just don't share it on social media and just don't like clip this. Like literally tell your homies about it. Tell your proximity, tell your friends and the people that are involved with you about the show. I think that, and this is just me being real. I've been offered thousands of dollars to promote other people's businesses on my shit, and I'm not going to do that. This is for the people, and I want to make sure that I keep it that way. And I believe that if we do an amazing fucking job, the world operates better on a sense of value exchange. Meaning if we do a good job and you guys like it, you should go out and tell somebody in your proximity about this show. That's how we like to grow it. I'm not going to fucking run any ads, and that's just how it's always going to be. Anyways, guys, if this is your first time listening, we have so many different types of segments. We have where I, bring on a guest that's done amazing fucking things for themselves or just overcame something absolutely crazy, and they're going to talk about their journey, and we edify the fuck out of them. Then 2, where Trey and I, we surf the internet. We haven't done that in a while, but that's going to be brought back. 3, me and Aaron answer your questions. You guys can go to www.quentinflores.com/askq and submit your questions to the platform. And then we have Mindset with Mitzi, where Mitzi just literally blows my mind with the amount of hippie shit that she knows. And then we talk about it, right? And so, guys, there's so many different segments to the show. Make sure you guys watch all of them, listen to all of them. We haven't been getting a lot of love on YouTube lately. So if you are listening to this and you're one of those people who just listen to it, go and fucking watch the videos, bro. Like there's so much like context that you miss and the way that we say things that is more like delivered. In my opinion, the delivery is there on YouTube. So go to YouTube, man. They've been switching up their algorithm and shit. And we've just been posting shorts of clips of the podcast. But yeah, man, guys, show some love. That's all I ask. Anyways, y'all, it's amazing to be back first and foremost. And I have an amazing guest here with me today. Go on ahead and introduce yourself to the world.
Thank you. A quick question I want to ask you, I'll come back to, but my name is Natalie Contreras. I'm known as the real estate marketing girl. I work with real estate experts to help them grow their brand on social media to either raise equity for their deals or to launch an education program to make an impact on others. So I kind of want to flip it back on you. How can we incentivize the audience to go to YouTube?
To be honest, bro, if you guys go to YouTube, man, you show some love, comment on this video specifically. Maybe we can give them something. What do you got?
We could do, a free content audit, a marketing campaign. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there.
I'll tell you what. You guys go to YouTube. Natalie and I will plan a webinar together. Yeah. It'll be free to everybody who goes to YouTube and comments something crazy. Comment the word growth on the video that Natalie and I just did. And I will literally personally message you and send you a link to the call that her and I will be doing.
That's killer.
And we can plan this out in a few weeks where we help people out with growing their social media presence.
Oh yeah, that's going to be killer. Oh my God, I don't think they realize how much value is about to be dropped, not only on this podcast, but on that webinar.
Absolutely. So Natalie, dude, I don't know too much about you. So let the whole world know a little bit about what you got going on. Cause you say you're the social media gal, right? And I think that's badass, dude. But where are you from and kind of how did you get to this point?
Yeah, so I'm from Dallas, Texas, born and raised in Frisco, which is on the northern side. And how did I get into it? Well, 2019, I dropped out of school on a whim. It was winter break. I was like, I don't think I'm going to go back this time.
What made you make that decision?
So that's a long story. And I guess we do have the time to go into it.
We do.
Right. So
that's what this is for.
Beginning of 2019, my dad and my sister both were sent to prison. My dad for 13 years, my sister for 5 years. And that was my first semester of college. So I was away from home. My family, my best friend and my mentor were like sent away. And I was just like in my mind, right? Yeah. I obviously didn't want to socialize. So what did I do? I went on YouTube. I started watching Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, Gary Vee, and I was like, okay, I need to do something. Like, I don't want to socialize with these people just because I was in my own world at the time, going through my own shits. And yeah, so I started learning marketing. I started learning about funnels. This was like at the beginning wave of everybody investing into courses. It was this whole thing. And for me, I really never had a bad taste in my mouth about courses. So by the end of 2019, I had gone to a couple real estate networking events, and I met someone who was like, hey, we can partner together on a wholesaling business. You can take care of the marketing. I'll take care of the sales and closing these deals.
Wow.
But I need you to be all in. You can't be in school. You can't be 3 hours away to do this. I said, fuck it. All right, I'm dropping out.
Dang.
I just did it like that, dropped it on a whim, moved back home a couple weeks later, and went all in on wholesaling real estate, doing it all virtual through Facebook ads, Google PPC.
How did you do in the wholesaling space?
It was good. It was good. The biggest deal that we did from a Facebook ad was about $80,000. And it was the easiest deal we ever did. Like,
how much
they
did the ad
submitted,
cost?
like, I think it was like $20 per lead, which was absolutely insane.
$20 for an $80,000 ROI.
Insane.
Excuse me. That's just like, not even the stock market does that, bro.
I know. And this was before it was super popular. So I was like, holy crap, this is going to be huge. And that just opened the snowball effect. So fast forward about a year and a half into it, I decided I really didn't like wholesaling. I didn't like the type of people we were talking to. It wasn't an audience I was excited to serve. And so I decided I want to be in commercial real estate. I want to work with the big dogs. How can I get into this? I'm 21 years old. How can I get anybody to take me seriously in a space where there's millions of dollars being traded? So again, I said, fuck it. And I went to my first commercial event. I was like, okay, I'm just going to underwrite for free for anybody. Like, I don't care. Let me just get my foot in the door. I ended up talking about marketing and locking my first client in at that first networking event that I went to, which was insane. I had no idea what to charge. I think I charged like $1,500 per month for that first client.
Wow.
Got them results, got them more investors, helped them build their list. And then from there, I just saw a huge gap in the market of commercial real estate investors needing to double down on social media, needing to grow their brand, needing to be able to influence others to show them the opportunity of what it is to invest in apartments, storage, anything to get passive income.
Right now it's hot too.
Right now it's so hot.
Bro.
It's like perfect time in the market.
One video with 4 editors and 6 overseas cost me roughly, I'd say 2 hours, maybe like $25-$35 per video. That one video I just recently posted landed me a deal that my company bought at 40% of the aftermarket value of the house.
That's insane.
After rehab value of the house. And I just closed on it Tuesday. But I found that
Congrats.
because somebody saw my video and they were like, hey man, saw this crazy story that you threw out there about a real estate deal that you did in 2017. Not that one, but it's a different one.
Okay.
I have multiple crazy things that I've gone through. But he messaged me and he's like, I'm in a situation like that right now where one of my houses has a bunch of homeless people living in it. I don't know what to do. Literally, that was like some random person, bro.
Yeah.
And it was a lead from Houston. And I wasn't even marketing that I was buying houses. They just saw that I was in the business. And I think that that's one of the most beautiful things about going viral on social media is that, you know, I have a friend of mine. They're like, Q, you know, I pay in your company to do videos, but when I pay for ads, I get 2,000, 3,000 expressions. And I'm like, okay, so how much does that cost you? And he's like, well, you know, about 5 cents per impression. And so in my head, take 5 cents and multiply that by 5,000 people, however much money that is, right? Versus the short form video that we're doing for him, which probably costs him the same amount of money. Which one do you think is more valuable? The ad spend impressions or the views that you get on your video? And I always tell him it's not the people who are it's not the amount of views that you get. It's the people who are watching.
100%.
That's what's most important.
It doesn't matter how many views you have or followers. Maybe it did 3 years ago, but today people just care about the stories you tell. So what you just said is you told a story about how you solved a specific problem.
Yep.
Right? You talked about the hardships, how struggle it was, you know, all of the random stuff that came about. And you showed that, hey, I'm a problem solver. No matter what comes across, I have a solution. You can trust me with whatever business that you send me over. That's what people don't understand about creating content. They want to talk about what is an ARV, what is an NOI, how to boost your NOI. Like, no one really cares. Tell us a story about when you actually did that within your business. But if you haven't done it yet, something that's practical, right? Like the story about, you know, the homeless people in your house, like you showed a solution to that, right? If you were to just simply make a video on 3 ways to get homeless people out of your house, like would it have been as effective as the story that you told?
No, not at all. Because the art of storytelling is a lot more powerful than just delivering a how-to on something. The how-to stuff worked for a little while, but it doesn't work anymore. I had a friend of mine that's like, here's how you can make a lot of money with like no money and XYZ. It could be any niche, right? And I just know that a lot of those videos are just very like bland. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a personal brand. That's
My
just
mentor told me this. He says the more that people can relate, the less that they'll ever debate. Meaning like if there's relatability, then there's less debatability. Like you're going to buy me before you buy my product.
Right.
And so I try to throw out as much as I can. Like recently I did a video on, it was a story that I told from when I was younger. It was 1997. I got a chance to watch Mankind versus The Undertaker in wrestling, which was one of the best matches because this shit wasn't even pay-per-view, Natalie. You and I have fucking been there, okay? But basically, The Undertaker throws Mankind off of the Hell in the Cell cage, and we're talking like, this is a pretty fucking tall cage, bro. And he falls through a table, and everybody thinks he's dead, and he fucking dislocated his shoulder. They start hauling him off in a stretcher, and he gets off of the stretcher with the dislocated arm. They never even popped it back into place. Starts climbing up the cage to try to fight The Undertaker
King
again.
Kong kind of
Bro,
stuff.
The Undertaker grabs him and then fucking choke slams him. The cage was supposed to be strong enough to hold him, and he falls through it, not expecting to go through it. And so when he hits the bottom, he fell through a chair. He got choke slammed through a chair. So the chair broke the fall, smashed into his nose, and the fucking tooth popped in from out of his nose, through his lip, and into his nose. And he's bleeding profusely. Paramedics are there making sure that he's okay because it's a show. Dude still gets up and tries to finish the match. Mind you, it goes even further, okay? He like smacks the Undertaker, throws him into the cage, and Undertaker is obviously, he's over exaggerating. He's like trying to act like he really got hurt. He grabs this thing from his pocket, and it's a whole bunch of thumbtacks, and he pours them on the ground and shit, right? And he's about to fucking choke slam Undertaker on it. Undertaker reverses it, grabs him, and gives him the tombstone pile driver and smashes his head into the thumbtacks. It was one of the greatest stories ever told. And I know it's not like, it was one of the greatest things I ever saw. I just retold that story. Reason why I wanted to go into detail on this, because some of y'all haven't seen that video yet. And some of you guys that are my age may be able to remember when that happened, because I saw that shit on TV, bro. That is not a normal thing to see on TV. And so reason why I'm telling you guys this is because I can tell y'all about 5 key points that I learned from watching this, or I can tell you guys about how crazy this shit was and how it impacted my life with 1 point. And I think that that's what a lot of people are missing when they're starting to do these content. Because I think a lot of people are preaching to bulk film now, right? Like ask a few questions and then say something. Storytelling is always going to be the highest conversion. What has been your experience with some of your clients as far as what they thought they were going to get into before they met you, and then now what they're getting after meeting you with your strategies that you're telling them to?
I'll tell you this. It's basically a personal development journey that you're going to be going through as you're creating content, because you really have to understand yourself, the way you communicate, and the way that you communicate your stories, right? There's probably a lot of cool things that you've done that you totally forgot and that you would think don't apply to your content, when actually we can pull it out and have it apply to maybe a principle that you value. So when people get into working with a social syndicate, they think, okay, cool, you know, I'm just going to batch create content. I'm going to pump it out. I'm going to create a list of 100 ideas and just like, you know, basically shit content out. I call it shit posting pretty much.
I see a lot of people doing this.
Everybody does it, especially in the real estate realm. And I'm tired of it, right? So you come into the social syndicate, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to create your brand foundations. These are going to be the assets that you're going to basically build off of, and that's going to be the foundation for your content. This is literally writing down your story. I need to understand your story to even help you decide what stories that we can pull out of there to create content based off of. On top of that, you know, let's create a roadmap for your past self, because your past self is typically your ideal client, right? There's this whole concept of, let's figure out my ideal audience. And I've completely taken that off the table. You are your ideal audience. Your past self is your ideal audience.
Do you believe that videos like this still work?
I use to run my company as a $100 million plus company. The first one is Slack. Slack is great for quick.
I just made a post about this actually.
Things done throughout the day, and I prioritize physical
So
nutrition while working.
it works for
They're
the
making the
Hormozis.
point from the beginning, right?
How are you coming up with content while also running a business? You could also want to run your business and have a family. You could also want to run your business and find a wife or a husband.
But there was about 4 videos that I just swiped up and down on for that specific person. And it's literally like, here's how you can make XYZ.
It works for the Hormozis because they are the Hormozi. You know who the Hormozis are.
Yeah.
Everybody copied their editing style, right? Everybody's editing style is the exact same. You know their videos because they've done it first and they can communicate properly and people just trust them. But if you're just starting out, you can't be doing that. I'd rather you pull out your phone, you know, have some ketchup on your lip and just record a video. Get in the car, be like, hey, I'm about to go tour a property. It's crazy. You know, I've underwritten 5 deals like since tonight, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm tired. I'm stressed, but hey, I'm going at it.
Also, just a quick reminder, Jose, make sure that you're writing down her points because we want to make sure. Okay, cool. I have all of your points that you're making so that we can give you this content for Reels.
Yeah.
Another strategic thing that we do.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. I think, so like a friend of mine, his name's Ryan Pineda, and he's speaking at my event, which is going to happen March 17th through 18th. If you guys haven't gotten tickets for the event yet, you can go to awgrowthevent.com. If you use promo code WEALTH, it'll knock the GA ticket down to 97. So guys, make sure you go and buy these tickets because I believe we only have like about, I say like 30 left at that price point. And we've already sold over 300 tickets. We're going to have 1,200 people in that building. Nice. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to convince Natalie to be there too.
I'll be there.
But guys, you know, definitely Ryan Pineda, good friend of mine, he's also very informational too, but he wasn't always like that. If you look at his videos from the beginning of his TikTok journey, like go all the way back when it was just him filming from his phone and he'd like, you know.
That's how he popped off.
Do different things. It is. And he did such a good job too, but I've noticed his style switching more to storytelling.
Slowly, I've noticed that within his content. He made that shift to information, how to, what is, blah, blah, blah. Now he's switching back into storytelling. I mean, he also posts like 2 to 3 times a day, 4 times a day, I think. Like, he's just an insane posting content like crazy.
He is.
But he
posts
can.
6 times a day.
Right? He can. A point that you made that I really want to touch on is look at what people did in the beginning. The people that you really value their content with, what did they do in the beginning that worked? Because now they're just trying to maintain their growth.
Yep.
Right? They're not trying to grow. They're not in the same position as you. It's like looking at a billionaire and seeing how they run their business and comparing it to you who's maybe, you know, making less than $100,000. It's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Right? The daily routine is not going to be the same. Right? Just pull out your phone, record, and be authentic.
That's
Have
one of the
fun
things
with
that I
it.
appreciate about you. You're always recording from random places and you're always giving not just like practical advice, but you're like showing us your life too. I think you did like a collage video recently of like a event that you went to. And I was just like blown away by it. You know what I mean? Because I was like, dang, this chick is actually like out here meeting people like that, you know? I tried to get you on the podcast when Friday, and then we're talking about maybe this weekend, we're talking about Monday, and you were like, event.
You'll always see me at networking events. I love it because I love building relationships, serving people. And, you know, I just love feeling like a little celebrity at these real estate events because I'm the only marketing girl there.
Yeah, you know, it's true. Most real estate people are lazy, bro.
Oh, my
They don't know how to
God.
make videos. They just know one very simple strategy. Most people that I know of that are in the space, they have a strategy that's called BRRRR. And so, you know, it's where they buy a property and then they renovate it on, you know, buy it at a discount, renovate it, and then they rehab it. And then next thing you know, they're freaking, they're leasing it, right? But then they refinance it so they get the money back. It's an awesome strategy, but most of these guys that I know of, that's all they know.
You can't talk about it.
They don't even understand the power of social media. Like, oh yeah, I didn't grow up in that time. We used to talk to each other. That's how I like to do things, you know? And that's fine too,
Yep.
but you're also capping the fuck out of yourself by doing
I just
this.
made a post about that. You know, the empires of the next decade are going to be built off of media companies or have a media company to support them, just like you have here.
Yep.
You understand what's going on. You understand what wave is about to happen. You need to be a part of the media world to be able to make an impact and to influence others, to purchase, to change, to do whatever it is. Like, if you tell me you care about making an impact, but you're not on social media, you're a phony. You know,
Dang.
like you're not truly doing everything you can to serve others and to change people's life, because it's the easiest time in history to influence others to do better, and it's also the hardest time in history for people to make a decision, because there's way too many options laid out. They just need someone to put their hand out there to grab it and pull them up.
Dude, you know, it's crazy because there's like a level of like evolving that happens during that time frame when you start making the content. Because you're right, at the beginning, it's just kind of finding the groove, and then you find it, and then you're like, okay, I know what my voice is. I know that I can sound this way. But at the beginning, what did you mention that you were just doing? You're just like, all right, I'm going to do what I'm going to do with what I have, right? So I'm going to show you right now something that's like super sensitive, dude. All right. And I'm actually really embarrassed by it, but I'm going to put it here. This is one of my first videos that I ever did.
Everybody.
So this is literally, I was 25 years old in this.
What's up, everybody?
Everybody.
I had to make a new video because I need to learn how to not curse when I'm making my videos, but I can't help it. Anyways, this is one of the properties that my buddy Chris is working on. This is a 4-2, really, really nice house, 2,900 square feet. Previous owner, don't really know where the hell they are, but we're going to skip trace to find the owner, get in contact with them, and then make a cash offer for that thing today. Again, this isn't the property that I'm working on. This is one that my friend Chris is working on, but I take any opportunity that I can to learn more about real estate, because this is what I want to do with my life, and this is my bread and butter. Alrighty, guys. Y'all take it easy.
If you hadn't made that video, you wouldn't be where you are today. That's the beautiful thing.
Yeah, it was like 8 years ago.
Like I mentioned earlier, like creating content is a personal development journey, because you have to find your voice and you have to step into your voice and be confident with it. You look at my first videos, very similar to that. And a lot of the first videos I did were just trending audios, which I felt like were even more embarrassing, because they're just like, pointing at random things
stuff,
at
like
the
pointing
screen.
at random shit. Yeah.
But it worked back then. If I did it now, I'd be like, it's not so on brand. My brand now is more of just like calling people out, telling stories, doing voiceovers, day in the life, like being an influencer, quote unquote.
Yeah. And I know you're still in the building phase. You have just tapped into it, right? And it's like you move so fast, and you got a concept that so many people struggle to get. Like, I have people that I know of that are very talented at what they do. They're phenomenal real estate people. They're phenomenal businessmen. My mentor, prime example, my mentor last year did over $600 million in revenue in his business. Does he really need social media? I would still say, yeah, he does, because he'd probably be a billionaire right now if that was the case. And so he understands people and he understands influence, but most of his stuff was always brick and mortar. I told Preston, bro, every multi-billion-dollar business from the year 2020, like 2030, all the way to 2040 is no longer going to be brick and mortar. It's going to be click and order. And that's the real motherfucking thing right there, bro. Like, you have to have your digital assets in place too, not just the ones that you own physically. Yep. I'm proud of my mentor for being able to do that, but he hired me to be a social media coach. Mind you, I've never fucking taught social media before in my whole fucking life, okay? This was back in April when he hired me. It was in May. I had just got back from a huge conference, and I saw a guy there. His name's Brad Lee. It's spelled like Brad Leah. And Brad Lee was on stage, and he was like, guys, don't wait to make content. Be the fucking content. Have the goddamn camera on you at all fucking times, even when you're fucking doing XYZ. Even if you're taking a shit, camera on you. Even if you're like about to jerk off, make a quick video. He said this shit on stage. And I was just like, wow, right?
You're like, yes.
Jose, the guy that's emceeing, was there. And in my head, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that's the sauce? So I just record myself at all times, right? How do I do that? Literally, we get back from Phoenix. Mentor calls me. Q, I need you to help me build my social. Hold on. Q, I need you to help me build my social media. And so I was like, I got you, bro. And he was just like, I'm going to wire you 10K. Hey, assistant, wire Q 10K right now. 10K hits my account. I used that and I opened up this place. I already had that, but it was really cool that it just like came to me. Yeah. I went down the street, bought a camera, met Jack for the first time. Jack and his girlfriend came on to the team and they helped me build out all of this stuff, you know? And so it was like, just started falling together, and we launched this business of June of 2022. And we currently have almost 10 to 11 clients. We keep ourselves real lean right now. And I mean, it's really great. It allows me to do this podcast and not have to pay thousands of dollars to another company to do it. Allows me to meet people like you that I never thought that I'd ever meet in my whole fucking life that want to come and be on the podcast or just even collaborate in some type of way. And dude, almost every guest that I had on this podcast, I still fucking work with them today. And so, man, I guess the main reason why I'm saying that is because I think big guys that are doing amazing things, big gals, big guys, whoever the fuck, like if you're listening to this and you're making a lot of money in your business and you're not capitalizing on social media, you're really handicapping what you could do. Because this thing right here is a money pot. I've made so much money from having an online presence. I don't think I would have ever have made this money had I not done that fucking embarrassing video that I just showed you in 2015.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just to attest to the fact, you're hopping in on something that's going to make you a billionaire.
Exactly.
And no one around you even knows that. Like, I'm saying that here. There's a very small amount of people that are like, damn. I'm like, they have no clue that they're sitting next to I'm sitting next to a future billionaire. I just know this.
Vice versa there. And it's like something you really tapped on that I think people just really need to be aware of is, you know, a $600 million guy sees the value of influencing others through a platform like social media. Someone who's just getting started with it is Vina Jetty, absolute rock star. Next couple of years, she'll definitely be $1 billion girl just with her real estate portfolio. And Pace Morby asked her and was like, why aren't you creating content? Why aren't you putting stuff out there? Why aren't you willing to make an impact? She's doubled down on content ever since then. And she's being a rock star with it. You know, right now she's getting a lot of momentum, but she's getting on these stages. She's getting the ability to influence. And what is that going to offer her? Well, I mean, for Pace Morby, he had a Disney Channel show. He has a popular YouTube channel. He has one of the best communities. One of the members of the Outcast, Big Boy. Right? Like, would that ever happen if he hadn't started posting?
No, not at all.
You get so lucky for no freaking reason, honestly.
Their strategy was different, though. A lot of Pace Morby stuff at the beginning was ad spend via coaching.
Yep.
And then what he did was he brought about, I think, last I checked with Pace, he had over 8,000 students. I know the ticket that it costs to join Sub 2, right? So you don't impact 8,000 people and show them how to buy properties without using any money, without 8,000 people telling 5 very close people that they know everything that Pace taught them.
People in their bios have the little peace sign emoji.
They have the hat. Everything.
They have everything. Like, that is a cult. Like, in the best form and fashion.
Is a cult. Is a freaking cult.
It is a complete cult. But I want to build a cult. I've always wanted to join a secret society. I want to build my own now, you know?
And you are, and I see it, you know? What do you think has been the most valuable thing that you've learned so far going into the social media space? Like, what has been the most beneficial to you in your journey and where you're at in life?
Right. Networking on social media. It's not just about posting. It's about reaching out to people in the DMs.
Damn, you literally fucking finessed me into getting on my podcast, bro. Wow.
That's how I got onto speaking at a mastermind with a, you know, $600 million dude 2 weeks ago. Met him through Instagram. Most of the valuable connections I've made have been through Instagram or Facebook.
Really? Mm-hmm. And these relationships that you're cultivating, what are they doing for you now?
So the theme for this year in particular is exposure and scale. That's why I'm here, right? Honestly, it was crazy because I posted that on my story, and a couple of days later we connected, and I was like, oh my God, this is the perfect opportunity for exposure and scale. So everything, whenever I reach out to someone, I'm like, how can I serve you? Who can I connect you with? I have a huge list of connections. I have a really big network because I go networking a lot, right? You need money, you need this, you need that, you need properties. Okay, I'll connect with a broker, whoever it is. Wow. What can I ask for in exchange? I'm the real estate marketing girl. Anything marketing, send people over to me. If you have an opportunity to get me more exposure, to speak on a stage, to speak in front of your community, allow me the opportunity. That's all I ask for right now.
That's fire, bro. And it's getting you there too. Like,
yeah.
You know, I don't really care so much about I think a lot of people, they trip over their own talent when they go into how many views they get.
Oh, yeah.
I know too many people that focus on views.
Or
and
followers.
Yeah, and those are two irrelevant things
100%.
in social media. it's not more or less it's not how many people are looking at your video. It's the quality of the person that is looking at it, that is actually trying to engage with you.
100%.
I look at the engagement. Like, there's people that have been engaged with me for years. I have people, Natalie, that have been following me for fucking since they were in high school, bro.
I think I've seen you around since like 2019, since that event that you
Wow.
hosted.
Thank you. Well, I hope that's a compliment, but
Yeah.
I try to be as relevant as I can. With this being said, it's like people grow up with you. You know what I mean?
It's so, oh my God. I had dinner with one of my social syndicate members last night, and he was like, oh, like, you know, congratulations. I just saw that your nephew turned 1 year old. Looks like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how do you know this stuff? Oh, you watch my stories. Like, that's cool. Like, you actually are keeping up with me. Like, people are listening all the time. They're watching you grow up. They want to grow with you. That's why you have to be a personality here. The two most important metrics for growing your brand on social media is not the follower count. It's not even the likes that you get. It's, are you generating leads for your business or for your community? Number two, are you building a community of like-minded people? That's all that matters. Are people DMing you, hey, I like what you're doing. I'm happy for you. Build those relationships. One of my biggest pet peeves with people that try to work with me, I set really high expectations for anybody that works with me. But it's, can you just manage all my social media? I don't have the time to manage my DMs. I don't have the time to do this. I don't have the time to post on my story. Okay, I understand you're very, very busy, but this is going to be, again, $1 billion asset for you.
Yep.
I need you to take the time to build these relationships with people and show them that you're a normal person. If Elon Musk has the time to post on Twitter consistently and engage with people, I'm sure you can make 15 minutes out of your day.
Yep. I fully understand that. And you have to make, like, to me, it's like, it's a part of the business model. Mm-hmm. Social media is a marketing platform. Mm-hmm. And so this is how I see it. For all you real estate people that are listening, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Your Instagram account is your CRM. Okay. The videos that you toss out there is your outbound marketing flow. Those are you cold calling, sending text messages, trying to get a hold of sellers. That's your outbound marketing flow. Your inbox are the leads that come in to the CRM, where you can begin doing the sales that you need to do for you to look at this like it's a business. That's the easiest way that anybody can, like, break this down. So if you're a real estate person, congratulations, dude. I just told you exactly what a social media platform is so that you can fucking understand it. And so that's just one part of it, though, right?
Yep.
The second part, though, is knowing how to gain the exposure. But that right there is easier said than done. Yep. You have to find your voice, and it comes with consistency. When I showed you that video, man, I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. I was just like, dude, where am I, man? But you know what? Well, what's up, everybody? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it just kind of happened. If I were to show you the first podcast that I ever did, bro, I was sweating. Like, now I'm on this thing with all these lights in front of me, and this shit don't bother me anymore because I'm ready for it, right? But it takes consistency. You don't go and build 30 pounds of muscle mass and lose 20% body fat percentage, right? Without going to the gym consistently. You're going to have to learn form. You're going to have to learn about things that are going to make you very uncomfortable. If you have a trainer, he's going to make you do things that you're not willing to do, right? But you go through them, and then eventually what happens? There was a time, Natalie, I could barely squat the bar, 45 pounds.
Really?
I could barely squat the bar. You know how much I can squat now?
Like
over 600 pounds.
Jeez.
But I have strong legs. But they weren't strong at the beginning. I couldn't even balance the bar right. I couldn't even go all the way down because I had never tried to make my body do those things anymore. Shit, and I can drop that ass, bro. Ooh. But I've never been able to do that before, right? It took me 2 years to get that down, to scale up from 45 pounds all the way to 600. 2.5 years.
That's a lot of weight. That's like a car.
I love lifting weights, bro. That's my shit.
No, the gym is the perfect analogy to social media growth.
You can't skip it.
You can't skip it. You got to show up. And just because you hire a trainer or you hire someone to plan the workout for you.
They can't work out for you.
They can't work out for you.
And I can see the pet peeve. What do you normally do when a client tells you that?
If they want me to, like, plan the content for them and, like, script it out word for word, I don't. That's not going to happen. I'll help you write the hook. the first 3 seconds, because the first 3 seconds of your content is the most important part. I'll help you get into that mindset. But, you know, as a partnership, as you're joining the social syndicate, you need to understand that this isn't just going to be a tool for you. It's going to be a program, basically a boot camp to get you into the mindset of a content creator. This is beyond you. I need you in 3 years from now, 1 year from now, realistically 6 months from now, to be able to pull out your phone, talk confidently, talk with a hook, and have a call to action in the end or in the middle. Grant Cardone does it. He's really, really great with content.
Oh, he's amazing.
Like
yeah.
the way he delivers it is very unique. It's not sitting down, recording content, batch recording, just spilling out information. He has a personality, and that's what I'm training and helping people do. I'll help you write the hook, but you need to record that video, and I'm probably going to ask you to record it a couple of different times. But, you know, I just want you to hit record. That's all I care about.
There's this thing that I learned from Tony Robbins. I'm going to share it with you because it's pretty funny. And if you can make your clients do it, it's a good laugh, but it's also like really awesome. So I do this thing, right? You have to think about it. Like you're in a cage. You're in a cage, okay? Now, how the fuck do I get out of this cage? There's an animal that's inside of you. It's a tiger and it's a lion, okay? And so I want you to do this exercise with me. And we're not going to do it together, but this is what I tell the guy. And so I see them getting ready. They're like, oh my God, what the hell's Q about to do? And I say, tiger face, ooh, lion face, ah. Tiger face, ooh, lion face, ah, right? And so they're like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, you're gonna do it with me. Lion face, ooh, tiger face, ah. And it's so ridiculous, right? What does it do? It makes people laugh. And what is laughing? It makes it contagious. You start smiling, I start smiling, everybody in the room starts smiling. And guess what happens? You totally fucking forgot about how nervous you were.
There you go.
So now you're out of the cage. Now we can turn the camera on. Let's film together.
I'm going to do that on our group coaching call today.
It's great. I did a whole freaking seminar with 300 people did that.
That's hilarious.
When I first got in this place, COVID had just happened. This is a true story, by the way. When I first got into this place, COVID had just happened, and the whole building was vacant. We were the only tenants because the building just got
lions
acquired.
On the top of the building.
Literally, bro. So like the floor under us was still being constructed, and they were all empty and open. So homeless people would come into the building and sleep, right? I fucking bought a bunch of food so the homeless people could eat outside of the building, and I made that little area that no one was in because the building owners live in Canada, dude. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna come over here, you know? I invited everybody over here for a free event on a Saturday. We had 300 people fly in. It took me 2 weeks to promote it. I used social media, and we threw a whole party in that little area, and it was a whole self-development exercise driven event. Everybody that came, I had them all do the tiger face, ooh, lion face, ah. It was pretty funny, man.
I'm
but
definitely
we were all
gonna use
there.
that.
It was fun, you know. But that was like just really starting to gain my traction on the social media. This was before short form really became like a big thing. I feel like TikTok is what came in and changed that.
Changed everything.
And I feel like the human shorts, like the human attention span, has dwindled down to like 3 minutes or less.
Like 3 seconds, pretty
That's
much.
crazy
TikTok
to me.
made information a commodity. Information is not valuable anymore. The organization of information is what's valuable. That's why people invest into courses, into coaching.
If that mic could fall on the ground, bro, that was honestly a fucking bar. I'm gonna start beatboxing the next time you do it.
Hey.
Hey. Anyways, Natalie, dude, it's super awesome to meet you in person and everything. What are your plans with this business model? Like, is this what you see yourself doing in the next 5, or are you trying to open up something like what I got here? Or just give me like an overview of what your goals are.
Yeah, I'll start off with what the Social Syndicate is. So with the Social Syndicate, it's a program for real estate experts.
Where can people find more information on that?
Natalie Megan, NataliMeagan. 2 A's in the middle right there. So you're just going to DM me the word syndicate, and we'll go ahead and have a conversation about where you're at and where you're trying to go. Because it's not a cookie cutter approach. That's what I really value. So with the Social Syndicate, it's a program where, you know, me or some of my other team members and my coaches are going to get with you and really cater your brand to be unique. Again, it's not going to be how-tos, what is, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's going to be about you and your storytelling. So a lot of the work is on the front end. So my vision for the Social Syndicate is to grow it, of course, 500, 1,000 members of real estate experts, probably eventually open it up to business owners making over, $250,000 just to have like that high value there. That way everybody can serve each other. But I also want to bring on other experts, LinkedIn experts, YouTube experts. Last week we had a YouTube expert that manages the accounts for Kevin O'Leary, HubSpot, My First Million. He dropped some game to our to our members there. And then I also want to provide, social media management services. In there, I'm training social media managers myself because I'm not taking any more agency clients. And then from there, it's like, this is a network. That's why I want it to be high value. The people that come in are going to be able to work together. There's no such thing as competitors. We're all going to be able to collaborate and rise together. I want there to literally be SS in everybody's Instagram bio, social syndicate. Maybe it'll have like one of these things, or I don't know, something like sub 2. Again, I'm trying to build like a secret society kind of thing.
I love it. Secret society. Right. Social syndicate.
Right. Goes hand in hand.
I dig it.
Right. And from there, this year is all about building exposure and scale. Next year is going to be all about partnering and buying. Everybody that's in my group, I'm trying to figure out who I want to partner with to buy more real estate.
I love that. I love that. I'm excited to see the goals change too. That's a big one. No one talks about that, Natalie.
Oh yeah.
When I first got into the game, all I thought I was going to do was, first I was a network marketer, and that's how I learned math. I know it sounds crazy, but I didn't know division or multiplication. I didn't really know how to add or divide or any of that, right? Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I just didn't grow up like that, And so I learned so much about how to talk to people, and I learned how to analyze business, and I also learned the power of team, But then I thought that that's all I was going to do. I thought I was going to have a huge downline. At my height in my game, I had 200 people that I was coaching at that time frame. I just learned so much about people during that time frame. Then I jumped into real estate. I thought real estate was going to be everything. My goal when I was 25 years old, but by the time I was 32, I was going to own a huge apartment complex. I have 44 properties that I own currently. 43 now because I'm selling one. But the reason why I'm telling you that is because I don't care to own an apartment complex anymore. And I never thought that I was going to go anywhere with this social media stuff. Like, I'd be very brutally honest with you, but I have 4 things that make me over 8 figures a year combined. I have my virtual staffing company. I have my warehousing business. I have this production company, and then I have my real estate company. And all 3 of these things, never would have thought that I'd own a fucking warehouse one day, bro, you know? But we're buying hundreds of thousands of dollars of product and moving them through the warehouse. My business partner, Catalina, with the production company, she got a chance to see it. And she was just like, what the fuck is going on? We have everything there that you can think of. It's like the stupidest business model that I've ever been a part of. But I went from flipping bricks to flipping, you know what I'm saying, fucking paper towels and shit. So I'd say it's a good investment. Literally, we flip paper towels. Did you know you can do that?
Well, I'm sure you were making bank with that toilet paper crisis a couple years ago.
But the goal changes. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm excited to see that happen for you. And when I say that it changes, I don't mean it like you're not going to accomplish this. I mean, you're probably going to accomplish this thing like a motherfucker, and it's going to open up more doors. Then you're going to see other things that may be better than buying the real estate.
If you were to ask me 2 years ago, I wouldn't, imagine I was right now, because I wanted to do wholesaling. I wanted to flip and buy properties. Yeah. Completely different now. Right?
I think it's awesome. And I think you got something amazing going on. I'm proud to see it, and I'm excited to see it.
Thank you.
It's going to be dope, dude. Natalie, I'm going to go ahead and drop all your social media here. For the person who's watching this, and this is a big one right here, they're struggling to make content. They feel like they don't have the confidence. They're doing videos, but they don't like them. That person is really just struggling to try to be that, right? Because they see everybody else doing it. They see people like myself, people like yourself. We're all making videos. Make it look so fucking easy, right? What's that piece of advice that you can give to that one person who is struggling right now in his social media world?
A lack of confidence is a lack of clarity. A lack of clarity is a lack of focus. We need to get you clarity. We need to get you focused. So what you're going to do is you need to reach out to somebody and get some help, get some guidance. Message me on Instagram, the word syndicate or social, either one, whatever. If you don't know how to spell syndicate, I get that a lot, actually.
Literally, there's a microphone. Just say syndicate.
Syndicate.
Send that shit. Send syndicate to Natalie.
Let's get you some clarity, because, again, lack of clarity is a lack of confidence. We need you to have that strong confidence to speak with conviction as you approach your social media branding.
Guys, I endorse this lady's program. I'm going to drop it in the comment section for you
Thank
guys.
you, Mr.
below.
President.
Absolutely. It is what I do. And I'm just super
The
excited.
ninja
to see.
president.
We got to have you back for another episode.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
for listening. I'll see y'all on the next one. Let's get it.
Let's get it.